It's not uncommon for this to be a very difficult conversation if you end up in an MRP transaction where the client absolutely wants you to do everything you can to try to secure a particular house for them. Certainly do not shy away from having the conversation regardless of what's advertised in the MLS. Sometimes it just takes a really strong real estate agent to be able to have an honest conversation about what they are battling as a negative expectation against the veterans program, and maybe you can help with some additional concessions to help secure it through the process and give them some additional guarantees for success. They essentially may need to see that you're willing to work as hard as this military member works for our country in getting this house for them and to make sure that it's a smooth transaction for all. Number 3, learn lead generation and marketing strategies. Specifically to attract military buyers and sellers, you've got to be able to market to service members. Very similar to marketing to a traditional buyer and seller. However, there are some marketing tips that I have found that are perfect for generating military leads. First off, get the MRP designation. The MRP designation is going to allow you a specialty education so that you understand what the military members are truly having to go through. While you're earning it, you're going to be able to see instantly places that can be found attractive to military buyers and sellers because you'll understand their needs better. The MRP certification is a really good starting point when you're working with these clients. Not a requirement, certainly. They are still just a buyer and a seller. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't have the education to support and understand what they're going through, it's going to be difficult for you to match their pace and to match their requirements for themselves and for their families. Like most buyers, service members begin their search online. So by having that good branding and for you to be able to text very quickly while they're busy trying to get additional paperwork and stuff done for their PCS while they're in town, they want to be able to quickly see a video of you touring a home, or even better, touring a home through video for them because they may not have time to see all of the homes while they're in town. Make sure you have an effective online presence. While it is not necessary for you to have military pictures and branding on your website, certainly if you are a veteran and you have utilized the real estate career to expand from that veteran experience, fantastic. But it's certainly not it's not a relatable need as long as you understand what they are requiring. When military buyers and sellers are searching, being able to help them find a home, they're going to look for an agent that understands them, that understands the process. If you need to get some help with your website, certainly the best place to start is Mimic. Get out there and find some really good veteran-specific agents. There are many, and they typically, again, surround themselves around military bases so they can be easily accessible for the military members that need them. Go through and see what they're doing and mimic that as long as you are not misrepresenting yourself as a military professional. If you have not been in the military, please do not set yourself up in a situation to where you're going to pretend or misrepresent yourself in any way as to your relationship with the military. Next, you want to use targeted keywords on your website to be able to draw their attention. Nearly every buyer and seller that's looking online is looking either in an area or for something specific that they're looking for in a house with a keyword or in an agent with a keyword. The majority of these are going to search for general items like homes for sale in Tampa, but most service members are going to be looking for PCS to Tampa Air Force Base, or homes near Joint Base such and such in the community in Naples. When writing blogs or websites or anything like that that is going to specialize towards the military pros, you're going to want to make sure to use those keywords so that you've got a better chance of attracting that type of audience. I can tell you, even pay-per-click ads can be very successful in making sure that it's branding toward that style of professional, especially around VA hospitals and around Air Force bases, who probably have the largest turnover of personnel. Share relevant information on social media. Social media is consistently evolving. All the tricks that have worked a year ago might not apply today, and you're going to have to consistently put new and relevant information to those military professionals in the area. It is always good to be relevant no matter what niche you decide to choose, but specifically when it comes to life off base, you want to have those as some of your commentaries. It's not easy being a military professional in Tampa. However, here are the things that we have to offer walking distance from base, or some of the great programs that we have for military professionals, some of the businesses that support our military folks that are living in the area. These are the kind of things that you want to bring to light and utilize leveraging your social media on. If you're in an area with military clients, this means even more information about the traffic, the home prices, the pros and cons of buying new construction for military members. That may not fit their timeline, but simply driving by and making sure that you get a quick Instagram reel or a quick TikTok can be super helpful for someone that is considering living in an area near a base. If you need to brush up on some social media skills, then again, get out there and mimic the best. Use the keyword searches that you would expect your military members to be using. And when you find those sites, obviously they're doing something right. Reach out and communicate with them. You might even be able to form a really nice partnership and be able to help them with all of the additional business that's coming their way. Local events is a little more expensive an option, but for you to be able to host a military specific event for new military members in the area, inviting a bunch of vendors to be able to socialize with them and tell them what they're willing to do for military members to make them more at home and just to make them more of a community, kind of a housewarming party for certain neighborhood show-offs. These are great events for casual conversations and make them in typical fun settings. Beaches are nice, but you're typically going to be surrounded by a lot of people that are going to try to get involved. So make sure that you probably choose something a little closer to the base, maybe at a local restaurant or someplace that has a local military coffee shop, or maybe even a local park so that you can set up multiple vendors so that they can have a more tight-knit conversation. There's a really good chance that you can invite some friends in attendance that you know that have a military background, and they too might turn out to be looking for a home as well. So even though there may be no visible military logos around you, it's still likely that a person positioning you as a military specialist or appreciating you as their agent that has worked with them in the past, it's a nice marketing opportunity for you to be able to share with your other professionals out there as you're trying to draw that crowd. Share specific military client testimonials and reviews on your site, on your Zillow review, on your Google stars. Testimonials are a huge way to generate new military business. It goes a long way for me. And of course, the word of mouth inside of the military market is exceptional. While we may not think that anybody's reading these reviews, I'm here to tell you buyers and sellers definitely do. They are our stamp as approval as agents, and they make sure that when you're closing on transactions with a military professional, you want to ask for not only a testimonial, but some great pictures of the family too, and the area that you were able to help them move into. This is going to help build trust and credibility, which will lead to your next deal. If you're not sure how to ask for reviews and testimonials, we've got a video on that too. Certainly want to pop in there and check things out so that you understand your market and how you can best communicate with those people beyond just getting the transaction closed. Next, you want to understand how to start working with military buyers, right? When you're breaking into a market like this, chances are you're going to have to start working with buyers until you've built up enough experience. Yes, probably make a few mistakes, and then ultimately you'll become a listing agent in that military community. Process of working with military buyers is a little bit different than normal buyers. So let me give you kind of a quick rundown of how the process works after you have a military buyer lead. First, you need to contact a lender who has experience with VA loans specifically, and they need a VA loan success rating. If the client's PCS move isn't happening for a few more weeks or even months, it's going to be great for you to begin this process by reaching out to a lender, even if it's just for an advisory compete, for you to be able to get on the phone with this new military pro and have a military professional expert lender on the phone with you as a new military expert realtor. It's going to go a long way for making sure you understand that they know you have a fast process and you're willing to help them secure what they need from the lending, from the title, from the realtor, and from the housing perspective. A loan officer is going to be able to help them with a lot of the preliminary information and begin that pre-approval process for the VA. This is going to help them determine what loan product is going to be best for the client and which purchase price to stay at or below. Knowing your military personnel's purchase power is going to be important. The loan officer needs to be well versed in VA financing and VA exceptions. Everything happens in a VA program. Everything happens in a VA loan. They are incredibly strict, and the VA personnel, if this is their first time using their VA benefits, for example, might not be well versed in how to manage those wickets. A VA loan professional will, and they will understand what to do, right down to 0% interest loan financing for some of our veterans. I mean, how amazing is that? Educating them on the pros and the cons of buying versus renting is also a very important conversation. A lot of our military professionals don't understand that they still have plenty of benefits to be able to buy a home, even for a short period of time, and how, as a veteran, it can be taken advantage of in the future when they go to sell it, even if it's just 2 or 3 years down the line. Renting, although is a faster option for them, may not be the best option for them in the long run, and they're leaving money on the table for their future and for their retirement with their family.